Jason Feger, the Mars late model dirt champion, got into it with Carson Hocevar during the Gateway Dirt Nationals on Thursday night last week. Hocevar kind of cheated up on a restart, cut Feger's tire. Feger was not happy about it. He was in the lead at the time. He decided to retaliate against Hocevar, drove right into the side of his car and up towards his cockpit. He then said it was a calculated move afterwards, and he was not angry with Hocevar whatsoever. He has now provided some more comments about what exactly happened and what his thoughts were on this incident. Before we get into what Jason Feger had to say, let's go back and look at what exactly happened, and then we'll look at his original comments, and then we'll listen to his most recent comments. So, with that out of the way, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at John Trent Racing. Let's get into this right here. Here is what exactly happened, courtesy of Flow Racing on X. This is the restart for the heat race. Jason Feger is in that car in the lead. He has the dice, the number 25 dice on the side of his car. Carson Hocevar is in the black car in that second row, right next to the red car, which is Mike Harrison. Let's look at what happens here. You can see Hocevar cheating up. Feger goes. They get together. Feger's kind of comes down. Hocevar's there. Cuts his tire. Hocevar really can't control his car anymore after that. I don't know really what's going on. Obviously, a wreck happens in the ensuing melee behind. And then if we fast forward a little bit here, watch Feger here in that number 25 car. Hocevar goes underneath of him. Feger speeds up. Just drives right into the side of his car, up over his left rear tire, and into his cockpit there. Fortunately, the cars are really sturdy, and no damage was done to Hocevar. Following that event, we did get some thoughts from Feger. He spoke to Flow Racing in the pit area. Let's listen to what he had to say here.
Kind of take me through what happened there that made you so angry with Carson Hocevar.
I mean, I don't know that I was really that angry. It's just if I'm not going to finish, you're not going to finish. You know, it's just a dumb bonehead move. We're both pretty much in transfer spot. We're one lap into the race, and I don't know. He just ran up over my left rear on the start and gave me a flat tire, so I knew I was done. And I figured if he took me out, I was going to make sure he didn't finish too. So I really hate doing that. I mean, I know fans get excited, but that's not how we're supposed to race. I mean, I want to put on a show, but not like that. And it sucks for my sponsors, my crew. We've been busting our butts, and we got a really good car. We've had a great year, and you know, I think we were putting ourselves in a position to have a great night. And now we got a long weekend ahead of us and a lot of work to do. But we're just going to keep digging and hopefully still make it happen anyway.
You playing?
So that is what Feger had to say following the incident with Hocevar. He now has uploaded a YouTube video where he kind of gives his thoughts about the entire Gateway Dirt Nationals, but he did spend a chunk of the time speaking about Carson Hocevar. Let's take a listen at this. I do recommend subscribing to his channel and listening to the entire video yourself as well, but this is what he had to say about the Hocevar incident. He does spend quite a bit of time on it. Let's take a listen.
I don't know. Some of you fans, I don't know what you watch though, too. There must be the ones that hate me, but like, anytime there's a Delaware double file restart, right, it's not really a good deal anyway. So let me explain this. The leader's supposed to be up front, the second row's behind him. Constantly, the guy on the inside is creeping up a lot of times, right? Sometimes the guy on the race receiver's yelling at him, get back, get back. Sometimes they let him creep up. Well, I'm leading. I know. I just want to let a guy have an open lane when I'm the leader, whether it's the top or the bottom. So like 95% of every Delaware double file restart you will ever see, you gotta kind of get up in front of the guy on the outside lane and you turn down the track. And if you race dirt, you know that's how it works. And once in a great while, if the track's just super top dominant, you might be able to carry momentum and run on top and not leave it open. The other aspect of this is, it's not like NASCAR. NASCAR, the leader has to be leading at the stripe, right? Even though you start side by side, the leader, you can't pass that leader before the stripe or they're going to penalize you. It's not that way in dirt racing. They will just let it go. So there's no way you're just going to like wave a guy right by you, right? So you're doing, the track is however many feet wide, and even as narrow as the dome is, it's still way wider, and you're trying to hold 2 cars behind you. That, I'm not saying he's disrespectful, but respectful drivers, they get as close as they can, but they shouldn't creep up on you. And that's my opinion, right? People do it. And
So he's admitting there that people do indeed creep up on that restart. We saw that Carson Hocevar did that. I've watched enough that I've seen plenty of drivers do that as well. And I understand what he's saying here, but at the same time, he knows that people are doing that. So that is a risk you take if you are going to try and block both lanes on that restart. That driver might be there, and you might cut that left front tire. So I do think that is something to take into account here in what he's saying. And he doesn't really seem to be recognizing that, but I do appreciate his explanation here. And obviously he's a veteran dirt car driver and knows a lot more than I do, but that does seem to be something that he is kind of he's missing, that this does happen. He's admitting that, but that's a risk you take when you do that move on the restart, when you try and come down like that. If that car is indeed there, that left front tire could be cut, and especially at the dome here where there is no hot pit, you're pretty much eliminated because you cannot compete with that left rear tire.
it just, so it's lap 1 to start with, right? And I go down the track, and obviously I want to say this: I'm not crying, I'm not complaining. I didn't cry, I didn't complain then. I don't care if you think I am. I'm just telling you the facts, how it is, and how I think. And just so you guys know, just for your information, and you might think I'm right, you might think I'm wrong, that's great. But I just want you to know how drivers think for the most part, and what goes through our mind and what goes through our heads. So I wanted to clear that up first. And I never cried, not a crybaby by any means. Might say the truth a lot. That doesn't make me a crybaby. So anyway, obviously I'm out front. It's one lap in, and they put me out front, and I start the race, and instantly, as I'm turning down, he's in my left rear tire. Well, the track's slick. There is no grip. So as soon as he touches me, I felt it instantly. Like, sometimes when the guy hits you in that left rear, like a lot of times with the way our spring steel and stuff is, we don't even feel it. Like, they can have that thing water all the way up, and you might not even know they're touching you. And sometimes, you feel a little bump. Like, it felt so abrupt in my car that I felt like his nose actually climbed up over my tire, and we were hooked together, and I thought I came unhooked from him. That's how bad it felt in the car, right? So as soon as he touches my tire, I lose all grip. And that's why he's in the gas, in my tire. It's turning me sideways down the track. Harrison doesn't even know this is going on, but he fires because that's what he's supposed to do. And when he hits me in the left rear, my tire pretty much instantly goes flat. Tail comes up. That's when Harrison hits me because I have no traction. I mean, he did nothing wrong at all. And yeah, it's racing, whatever. I mean, it's a bad deal. And I don't know. That is exactly what happened right there. Well, people want to say I ran him into the wall or Harrison hit me first. That's not what happened. He touched my left rear tire, break all traction. He stays in the gas. It turns me down. That's why it looks like he's pinched the wall, because he's in my left rear tire turning me down the track, right?
Let's take a look at the replay again, just to make sure that this is indeed what happened. Let's take a look here. So you can see here's the restart again. I don't know if I agree with what he's saying there. It doesn't look like Hocevar is in his left rear right away. There's still a gap there. It's not until Feger does indeed come down, as he said earlier, when that contact is made. So I'm not sure if I agree with his assertion looking at the replay here. But again, let's continue to listen to what he has to say. But I just don't think what he's saying kind of we're seeing it in the replay. There does indeed look like there is a gap between Hocevar and his car, even right after they fire. And then, as he stated earlier, he was coming down to block that lane because he figured that Hocevar would indeed try and ride the bottom there. And that's when I think the contact was made.
And then, so obviously, I know before I'm even at the flag stand, my tire is flat. You can't change tires at the dome. Well, I know my night's over, right? So Uh, so I'm rolling around there, and it's just funny. People like, oh, you need anger management, this and that. So listen, I didn't even do this out of anger, right? I knew exactly what I was doing. This was 100% calculated. Cody told us at the drivers' meeting. Listen, I do not want to tear up a race car. I hate tearing up race cars. I tear up very minimal stuff typically, right? Or usually very, very minimal stuff that's my fault. I might get in a wreck here or there. Stuff happens, obviously, right? But very rarely do I tear up race cars. And Cody told us at drivers' meeting. He said, boys, this is going to be like hockey. I don't care what you do out here, but it better be out here. I don't want nothing in the pits. He's like, basically, his gloves off out there, right? He said, but nothing goes on in the pits. So
that is what we've heard from other other drivers. Bobby Pierce posted this here on Twitter as well. He said they encourage on-track activities such as this. They said it in the drivers' meetings. It's what brings fans and makes the highlight reels. So just do it on the racetrack, and they're cool with it. Obviously, referring here to the Feger and Hocevar incident. So we've heard that from other drivers as well. That is indeed what they were instructed in the drivers' meeting.
Would I like to handle things like a man? Absolutely. Do I want to get invited back to this event next year? Absolutely. So I was going by what was told, right? And like I said, I don't get mad very often. If I was mad, I would have parked on top of him and got out and probably been in jail, right? That's why I'm mad. Very few people have ever seen me actually mad. I was just very disappointed, very upset, knowing that pretty much all my chances of making the race this weekend or winning the race was pretty much completely gone the way the format of this event happens, right? So I was very upset and not mad, just, more just upset about circumstances. So, I said it in my interview and I said it again. He basically, I sure was not going to let him finish, right? Same way as Huddy did to Tyler Carpenter last year. Like, he cost me all my hard work that I did that to put myself in that position. He cost me. So what's right, what's wrong? I mean, all that's debatable, right? Like, an eye for an eye, whatever you want to say it, right? I just felt, I don't know this kid. He obviously, he's there probably for a little different reason than I'm there, right? Like, I take this event very serious. And, he's probably there as a little more novelty and having fun. So I felt like it'd be no different if I just showed up to a truck race and took him out on a restart, right? Like, they probably would be pretty upset at me. So I just was making sure he wasn't going to be able to reap a reward by flattening my tire, basically, right? And was it a bonehead move? Absolutely. Am I proud of it? Hell no. I hate that. I hate when I see other people do that. I don't think you should do it. I know it was stupid. I know it was a bonehead move, right? But yeah, I did it because at some point, you can't just let people run you over. Let alone a kid I don't know that on lap one, like, listen, me and this Harrison, we bumped and rubbed all summer long, throwed elbows on this Mars tour, slide jobs, race the balls off each other, right? That's just hard racing. I love racing hard. That's great. But it's hard for me to tolerate. I'm not calling him stupid, right? But that was a stupid move. And it's hard for me to tolerate that for what it cost and justified, right? And I just, like I said, I made sure that I felt like I did what I had to do at that point to make sure he wasn't going to reap a reward from what he cost me. And like I say, 100% agree, stupid, bonehead move, shouldn't do it. I hate it. But what else is the thing? They're not going to put him in the tail if he kept going, right? So I don't know who wants to be the referee, where you want to draw a line. That's always been debatable in our sport, right? So that's part of what you fans love about our sport, right? You got.
I think he's right there. We do love the drama. We love the controversy. We love the drivers' personalities and things like that. But I'm gonna just. I think I've kind of made it very clear that I kind of disagree with how he's looking at what happened with Hocevar. I think it was a racing incident. He says that at one point, and I think that's pretty much what it is. I don't know if I agree with him retaliating against Hocevar. he admits that it's a bonehead and stupid move, but he also said that it was 100% calculated too. So at least he's being honest. He's telling us what he feels, what he's thinking, what went through his mind when he was doing it. So I really appreciate that. I'm still going to continue to watch Jason Feger. I like watching him on the track. I think he's a hard competitor. I watched a couple of those Mars late model races this year. Highly entertaining. He deservedly was the champion. But I appreciate him being honest, and I like him being out here and sharing his opinion with us and letting us know what happened or what he felt like what happened. But I just don't see the video that I'm seeing doesn't show what he's saying. I think that there was space with Hocevar. I don't think Hocevar was right on him right away. You see him launch. There's still space between him and Hocevar. It's not until they get into the corner and then he kind of comes down the track is when they make contact with each other, and that tire is clearly cut. And Hocevar is in the wall at that point too. And then obviously Harrison does indeed kind of give Feger a bump there and push him down even further. But let me know what you guys think. What do you make of what Jason Feger had to say here? Do you think I'm completely off the mark and I'm just not seeing what he's saying? And Feger is absolutely right here in how he's explaining it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.